If you're in your 20s, then you've probably heard it before. Your 20s are for finding yourself or taking it easy. It's one of those well-meaning cliches that people seem to pass around and repeat without ever really thinking about it. But here's the cold hard truth about that. That mindset is quietly costing you millions. Your 20s are not a decade to coast. They're a launchpad. Every move that you make now sets the foundation for the rest of your life. While most people are drifting and thinking they have plenty of time to get serious later, you could be using these years to set yourself up for complete and total time, location, and financial freedom. The bad news is that despite what you may have been told, you really don't have time to waste. The good news is that if you do this right, every decision that you make now compounds over the years and can put you so far ahead of your peers and your colleagues and your friends and your family, it's almost crazy. This is why your 20s should be focused on 4 things: making money, developing high-value skills, building strategic relationships, and taking smart risks. If you focus on these things now, the rewards will multiply exponentially. This truly is your moment to get ahead of the curve. Now, whether you choose to believe this or not is really none of my business. All that I can do is tell you what I've done personally to make millions of dollars and become completely financially free. And then it's up to you whether you decide to follow this advice or not. Whether you're selling a product, a service, or yourself, having the ability to clearly communicate the value you provide and then follow that up with the ability to close deals will set you up for life. If you're not sure where to start, well, here's a simple strategy. Pick a skill that's in demand and start learning it now, whether it's sales or coding or copywriting or digital marketing. There are countless online courses and resources out there that are going to help you get started. And the earlier that you master one of these skills, the more options you're going to have down the road. To make things even easier, I'll link up a free online training course down in the descriptions below this video that you can get immediate access to and is going to help you get started with what I believe is the single best and most valuable skill that you could ever hope to learn: marketing. But here's where most people get stuck. They spend their time reading and taking courses and listening to podcasts, but they never take action. Learning is great, but action is what actually gets you results. So if you do decide to sign up for the free training that I've got linked up below, this might sound obvious, but the truth is that most people who sign up never actually do anything with the information. This is why I strongly encourage you to join the 1% and actually go through it and take action. The big lesson here is that learning without action doesn't move the needle. You have to get in the game. The sooner you start, the sooner you'll see results. And once you see those first results, you'll build the confidence that you need in order to keep going. But there is one dangerous myth floating around that I have to warn you about, and it's one you've probably heard a million times before. And that is, money isn't everything. Sure, I get it. Money isn't the only thing that matters, but there is a quote that I love from Warren Buffett that says, money is not everything. Make sure you earn a lot before speaking such nonsense. Because here's what most people won't tell you when they downplay the importance of money. You see, money makes life a whole lot easier, especially when you're young and your entire future is ahead of you. Personally, I've been rich and I've been poor, and I can confidently tell you that while money won't solve all your problems, it will solve most of them. We live in a capitalistic society, a society based on competition and achievement and success and status. The number one cause of divorce today is money issues. So money solves that. Stress is one of the top killers today, and money solves that too. Many diseases can be treated or prevented with money as well. And, well, the list goes on. Ultimately, making money in your 20s isn't just about paying the bills. It's about creating options and buying your freedom. And the earlier that you start stacking wins, the more that those wins are going to compound over time. Take 2 people. Both are 25 years old, but they're walking 2 very different paths. Let's call one Matt and the other Dave. Matt spends his 20s working a regular 9 to 5. He's told, you're young, take your time, enjoy life, and figure things out later. And so, he does. Matt sleeps in, he spends money on fancy dinners and drinks with friends, he takes expensive weekend trips that he probably can't afford, and he buys some nice things here and there. And he figures that he's gonna get serious about his career and making money when he's older. Dave, on the other hand, decides to focus on earning right away. He picks up skills, things like freelancing and digital marketing and sales, grinding away after work hours and on weekends. He takes online courses and reads everything he can get his hands on about entrepreneurship and building businesses. Sure, Dave misses out on some fun weekends, but by the time he's 30, he's built a small business that's earning him multiple 6 figures a year. Matt, on the other hand, is still working his 9 to 5 job, making just enough to get by, wishing that he had more freedom, and worst of all, feeling stuck because now he's trapped and feeling like there's no easy way out. The difference between them isn't luck, it's just focus. If there's one thing I wish more people in their 20s understood, it's this. Now is the time to take risks. You've got youth on your side, you've got time to recover if things don't go your way, and most importantly of all, you've got the energy and flexibility to take bold, calculated risks that can set you up for life. Waiting for the right time is usually just an excuse to never get started. The fact is, there is no perfect moment, and there never will be for you to take a risk. That said, there is a window in your 20s when taking big risks are a little less risky, and they come with even bigger rewards due to the compounding effect of early success. Whether it's launching a business, or investing in a new venture, or even changing your career path, now is the time to take that leap. Don't wait for the perfect conditions, because they're never going to come. Do the research, calculate the downside, then go for it. One of the biggest reasons that people don't take risks is fear of failure. But here's the thing. Failure is actually your best teacher. It's not the end of the road, it's just feedback. Normally, it's the first step. It shows you what worked and what doesn't. And when you're in your 20s, failure isn't nearly as scary as it seems. The question that I like to ask myself is this going to kill me? If the answer is no, then I should probably do it. So change your mindset around failure. Instead of seeing it as something to avoid, start looking at it as part of the process. So take that leap that you've been afraid to make, whether it's starting a side hustle or investing or going all in on a business idea. And expect to learn more from what doesn't work than what does. Let that guide your next steps. Here's something that most people overlook in their 20s, and that is that relationships compound just like money. And just like with your finances, the earlier that you start investing in the right relationships, the bigger the payoff over time. The people you meet in your 20s, I'm talking about mentors and business partners, even peers, well, they're the ones that are going to unlock opportunities that you don't even know exist yet. Some of my very first hires were people that I went to school with, or that came as recommendations and referrals from other people that I knew and trusted. These relationships ended up paying off big time. For me, by giving me access to top-level talent, and for them by offering positions in a fast-growing company. The big takeaway here? Don't wait until later in life to start building valuable connections. Just like money, relationships do compound over time. So join industry groups and attend events and reach out to people in your field. Don't approach networking with a what can I get mindset, but focus on adding value and building genuine relationships, like actually caring about people, because these connections will be invaluable as you grow. In your 20s, time is your greatest asset. Most people sadly waste it. So use your evenings and weekends to work on side hustles and learn new skills, or network with people who can help you grow. Yes, you're gonna sacrifice some immediate gratification, but trust me, it's worth it. In your 20s, you have fewer responsibilities, more energy, and more flexibility than you will at any other point in your life. The question is, are you gonna use this time wisely? Also, you don't need to sacrifice everything, but you do need to make intentional choices with your time. So instead of binge watching Netflix every single weekend, spend a few hours working on a side hustle or learning a new skill, or networking again with people who can help you grow. Because these sacrifices that you make now are going to pay off massively in the future. Let me give you an example. Take one of my students, KJ, who in his early 20s worked full-time during the week, but spent every evening and weekend learning and working on marketing and copywriting and taking clients on the side. In just a year, he was able to quit his job, having built a copywriting business that not only replaced his 9-to-5 income, but was earning him over $60,000 a month, and is now well on track to hit $100K per month. That's what smart use of time looks like. Money is more than just a paycheck. It's energy, it's fuel, it's what helps you build momentum in your life and in your business. The more you have, the more you can do. You're not just chasing cash for the sake of it. What you're doing is using this to create opportunities that generate even more wealth in the future. Think of it like this. When you make your first $10,000 from a side hustle or investment, that money isn't just for spending. It's for building. You can reinvest that into your business, your education, or other opportunities that keep that momentum going. And the more you earn, the more you can invest. The more you invest, the faster your money grows. And the faster your money grows, well, the more freedom and opportunities that you have available to you. It's the ultimate snowball effect. But it all starts with that first small win. Maybe it's earning $1,000 from freelancing or landing your first consulting gig. Whatever the case, once you see what's possible, it's easier to keep that momentum going and aim even higher. One of the biggest myths is that you need a massive amount of capital to get started, and this simply isn't true. The best place to begin is simply by investing in yourself, by focusing on things that are going to grow over time, whether it's your education or a side business or any valuable skill that you're going to learn. You're playing the long game here, and every dollar that you put to work today will multiply in the future. Every skill you learn will make you more valuable to the marketplace. Every good decision that you make will reinforce your identity as a winner, which will make future good decisions easier, often automatic. And The sooner you start, the bigger the impact. A lot of people wait until their 30s or 40s to start getting serious about making money. But the problem with that approach is that by then, they've missed out on years of compounding growth. Let me give you a straight up money example here. $1,000 a month invested when you're 20 compounds to over $17 million when you're 80. But if you wait until you're 40 and invest the same $1,000 a month, well, then that number shrinks to just $3.5 million. The earlier you start, the bigger your financial snowball becomes. And these numbers get really crazy once you learn how to make serious money. For example, let's say you're 20 years old and you start today and spend the next 3 years learning how to build a 7-figure marketing agency. 3 years is less time than it takes to get a degree, and if you do it right, there's the potential to be earning $1 million a year at 23. Now, let's say that you invested even just half of that, which is just over $40,000 a month. By the time you're 80, you'll have a whopping $562,653,469.28. Think back to Matt for a second. He spent his 20s thinking that he had plenty of time to figure it out and didn't start getting serious about earning until he was 35. By the time he hit 40, he realized he had lost out on nearly 2 decades of financial growth. Meanwhile, his friend Dave, who started building a side business at 23, was miles ahead, already financially independent by his mid-30s and free to do whatever he wanted. Waiting, stalling, and procrastinating on this isn't just about losing time, it's about losing money, losing opportunities, and losing freedom. And that's a bad deal, no matter how you frame it. Let me be crystal clear here. Your income is directly tied to how valuable you are to the marketplace. If you want to make more money, you've got to become more valuable. This is why your 20s should be all about acquiring high-value, money-making skills that can set you up for life. The best way to make a lot of money is to learn high-value skills, as your earning potential is directly tied to how valuable you are to the marketplace. In other words, if you want to make serious money, you need to learn serious skills that other people are willing to pay for. In today's world, skills like sales and marketing, coding, and copywriting are in high demand. And the best part is, these skills aren't going anywhere. So, the earlier you master one, the faster that you're going to see your income grow. Let's say, for example, you learn how to run Facebook ads. Well, within a few months, you're managing campaigns for small businesses on the side. By the time you're in your late 20s, you've built a reputation and a full client base. And this is money that you're making while most of your peers are still figuring things out. But sadly, this is where most people get stuck. They read books, they take courses, they listen to podcasts, but they never actually do anything with that knowledge. If you want to get ahead, you need to act. Don't be afraid to start small. Freelance, offer easy to deliver services, offer your services at a discount if you have to, but get in the game and get started. The sooner you start applying what you've learned, the sooner that you're going to start earning. And the sooner that you start earning, the sooner that your growth starts to compound. Another one of the biggest traps in your 20s is waiting for everything to be perfect before you start. Perfectionism sounds responsible, but it's really just procrastination in disguise. The truth is, perfection doesn't exist, and if you wait for the perfect moment, you'll never get started. Have an idea for a business or a project that you've been sitting on? Then stop waiting for everything to be perfect and launch it now. Even if it's rough around the edges. You're gonna learn as you go, and you can always improve it later. The important thing is to get started. The key to success in your 20s isn't about having all the answers. It's about taking action, learning from your mistakes, and constantly moving forward. It genuinely doesn't matter if your first draft is messy or if your first business idea fails. What matters is that you keep going and keep learning and keep improving along the way. Set a goal to make consistent progress, even if it's just a few small steps each week. Keep learning, keep experimenting, and keep building. Momentum is your greatest asset. Once you get it, don't let it stop. The big takeaway here, don't waste your 20s. Don't wait for life to happen to you. Go out there and make it happen. Focus on making money, acquiring valuable skills, taking risks, and sacrificing a little comfort now so you can set yourself up for a lifetime of financial freedom and success. Now is the time to go all in. So get after it. And if you want to see how I earn millions of dollars a year with just one simple skill that anyone can learn, then you can check out this video that I've got linked up right here. So feel free to tap or click that now. I'll see you in there in just a second.